Hello, horror movie fans. I am Timekeeper Matt,
I'm Timekeeper Pat.
and welcome to Horror Time Review. We're going to be reviewing a cult classic for this Halloween edition of Horror Time Review. Not as old as some of the other cult classics, so let's get right into it and start talking about this fun film. Um, we both watched it recently to kind of get a refresher, and honestly, I myself make sure that I watch this film every single Halloween. Just right off the bat, I find it to be the quintessential Halloween film. Along with some of the other quintessential Halloween films like Halloween itself and Nightmare on Elm Street. But I feel that this one really captures the essence, the spirit of Halloween, which is kind of the point of the movie. And that's why I love the film so much. And I also love the anthology feel of stories. Right, Pat?
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorites. I do the same thing. I watch it every Halloween, and like every time, I kind of find something more, to to something I haven't seen before. Just like when you watch movies over and over again,
Right.
um,
Kind
you
of a
pick up
comfort
on
film.
things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of a comfort film. Always something new to find. And actually, um, both me and Pat are big into the anthology type of horror. And it's actually kind of one of the things that inspired our show is movies like this. So movies like
Hmm.
um, Trick or Treat or Creep Show or um, just
Twilight
different type.
Zone,
Yeah,
something
Twilight
like
Zone,
that.
stuff like that, where it's more of like this anthology of horror films, just a different horror story that kind of all just throughout the film. We just love that. Now, what I love about this one is that it takes that approach, but then all of these stories connect with each other, and I
Yeah.
just love the parallels with all of them, and then like you see the different perspective from each story.
Oh
So I
my
mean,
gosh, it was.
yeah. I mean, what's your obviously there's going to be a lot of spoilers if you guys have not seen this movie before. I would definitely highly recommend if you are a horror fan of or a Halloween fan at all, check out this movie. I know some don't get it and some do, but I guess that's what makes it a cult classic because that's the way cult films are. I have some
Hmm.
cult films out there that I don't really care for myself, but I know other people love them. But uh, what is your favorite story within this film?
Oof.
Hard to pick.
Favorite story.
Yeah, just individual story holds up on its own.
I think I like the Anna Paquin story because
Yeah.
of the reversal
I kind
the
of figured
best.
you did. I kind of figured you did. If I was gonna say one, I would have pinpointed that one because I know that you're very much into the monster, paranormal monster like type of stories.
Hmm.
Like what am I trying to say? Like I know you love the supernatural and
Yeah.
zombie films, and you like um what else am I trying to say that you but yeah, stuff like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer type of thing.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So like I could tell you like that like classic type of monster Hollywood monster feel. So that's what I was gonna say about yours. But anyway, go ahead.
So obviously I loved it.
Hmm.
From the first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this thing is beautiful."
Yeah,
um,
it's so cool.
and like I just love how they go to the different perspectives, and you can see everyone connecting, like you said, and there's a lot of twists and turns, and
Yeah,
at the first watch, you're still guessing. You're like, wait, what's going on? Why is this going on?
yeah,
Um, and like, no one's safe. Everyone is potentially a victim, you know.
yeah. That's what I love about
Um,
it. I and
and
going back to the werewolf
no,
one,
go.
like No, no, I was just gonna say, I love just that werewolf scene is just so cool. I love the transformation of the werewolf. I love the idea of, like, them searching out their prey, like, but they make it like they play it off like they're trying to find, like, your first time, your virgin, like
Dates. Yeah.
right, right,
Yep.
like, almost like one night stand type of things, and they take it from that standpoint, and, like, it's just just a bunch of girls going out on Halloween just trying to have fun on Halloween, college age type of girls going out just trying to have fun, and then it turns out that they're really just trying to find, um victims to eat. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Like, I love it. Like, and then they had the ritual in the forest. It's like it's just so much fun, and that they tie in that psycho from the beginning, and he gets it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Love that.
Oh my gosh. um. What else? Like, but obviously, I love Sam. Sam is definitely my
Yep.
favorite like
Mm-hmm.
character, just because. I mean, I couldn't find anything explaining it, but I think it is like the Samhain like spirit
Well, that's why he's called Sam.
embodied. Yeah.
That's why he's
So.
called Sam. Yep. Hmm. And yeah, that's why I love it. That's the idea. Like, I love that it's kind of the personification of the Halloween spirit. You have Santa Claus, you have Krampus, you have um even the Easter Bunny. You have these, like, ideas that, like, encompass, like, what that spirit of that holiday is, whether it's the religious aspect of it or not. Um, but I love with the Halloween, it takes this spirit of, like, of that, but also the urbanization of what Halloween has become, the trick or treating, the scary stories, the carving the pumpkins, like all of those things that kind of just modernization of Halloween, and that spirit
Hmm.
is in him. And I love this idea of, like, respect the holiday, or the holiday will not respect you. Like, you will, like, you will get it if you do not respect the holiday. Like, I love that, like, storyline. It's so cool, and it's not always Sam that. It's really only Sam at the end. Well, he does it in the beginning. In the beginning with the decorations, which is the fun
Yeah.
part. And then at the end with the old guy, like, he himself doesn't really, like, on the other stories it's everyone getting it on their own. Um
Yeah.
in the wolf story,
And,
and the kid getting murdered by the guy, because even the kid himself is not respecting Halloween, because you're seeing that he's smashing pumpkins and
smashing pumpkins, taking
hmm
extra candy.
yeah, yep,
Um, I'll tell you, out of that whole movie, the only scene that kind of makes me queasy is when that kid is throwing that shit
Oh
up,
my
like
gosh, I was
his
gonna say that.
bowels.
Yes, every time it gets me sitting, he, like, throws up more on the guy, and you're just like, "Oh god, that's so awful."
He's
And,
like,
like, the sounds he makes, and you're like, "Oh my
oh.
gosh." Um, but my favorite
And the
story.
kids knock on the door, and
Yeah,
he goes, just a minute. I'm like,
yeah.
oh my god! I start cracking up.
He does so good at that role. I don't know the actor's name, but he does.
It is Dylan Baker.
And I'm trying to remember what else I've seen him in,
Hold on, because I had it up. Yeah, I was looking at it earlier.
but
But yeah, because I recognize him.
he does so well. Like, it is such a underrated um performance, I feel, in the scope of horror. Like, I feel it's just so good. And he's such what's great about it too is he's so unexpected when you see him, and even his
Hmm.
personality throughout it, you're like, this dude's like a goof. He's like a loser. Like, he's like, you picture him as, like, this, like, stereotypical principal of a school, where he's just like this
Hmm.
goof, like, almost like a Flanders-esque type of guy, but somehow he's a psycho.
Well, that's the other thing is like what um did okay, so what made him do that? Was he that all along, or did he snap that night? Because in
No,
the
he had
back
other
going to when
he had other kids in the in the pit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I
Yeah.
noticed that this time. I don't know why I didn't, but it's not that Charlie kid in the
No,
like the
no, no, no.
candy
He
bar throwing
n
up.
no,
It's a
no, it's
different
not.
kid.
Yeah, that guy's that one's long gone because he's in the basement, remember? His head
Hmm.
is at least. So, yeah, no, it's another completely other kid.
And oh, he was a well-known one would be Doctor Connors from Spider-Man
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes, that's right.
2 and 3.
Yeah, and he was eventually gonna be, the lizard or whatever. Yeah, or
Hmm.
reptile or whatever. Yes, that's right, of the Tobey Maguire ones. Um, yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
I guess one of my favorite quotes during that scene when he's trying to bury the body and his son comes back and he goes,
I
"Hey,
know
I'm back from trick or treating."
I know what my
He's,
favorite, I know
Charlie, shut up.
yeah, I love that interaction, but I love when he goes, "Charlie Brown's an asshole."
Yes, yes, yes. Go
Go
watch
watch
Charlie Brown.
go watch
He's
Charlie
Charlie Brown's
Brown.
an asshole. I'm like,
Like
I'm gonna start calling people Charlie Brown now. Like, if like someone's
like,
acting like an ass, I'm like,
I've never
stop
heard
acting
that
like a Charlie Brown.
like, I've never heard someone be that, like, refer to Charlie Brown that way, like, I'm not, like, a giant Charlie like, I know, like, people, like, their traditions is putting Charlie Brown in Halloween and in Christmas, like, he's never been, like, a nostalgic character for me, but I would never say Charlie Brown's an asshole.
That was great. Best line ever.
Oh, yeah, easily the best line, it's so good. Charlie I noted that because I was gonna say and as soon as you started going, I was like, "Oh, I know where he's going with this." Um,
And then the big mislead because he seems like he's very irritated with his son at that point when
yeah.
he goes back inside to help him do the pumpkin,
Yeah,
and they go, "Let's go downstairs."
why does he hide it behind him, though? Like,
I don't know.
like, I don't think I think I feel that was the one part that's weird to me because it's like, I feel the audience would have thought that regardless or would have been thrown regardless if you didn't put it behind your back. Putting it behind his back almost seemed like it was just forcing that scene. Like,
Yeah,
because why would you do that
because
in the intent to stab him? You know what I mean?
mhm,
Like, so and they both knew they were going down there to do that, to carve. I mean, I love that twist though. Don't
yeah.
forget the eyes. But yeah, that was my only weird one. But I gotta say, my favorite story, I feel, is the bus. I feel the kids, like, bringing
Oof.
them down, like, it just it just angers me so much, like, it just gives me so much emotion because
Oh my god.
feel so bad for this kid that, she's, dragged down here and she's taken advantage of like that, and but I love the idea of how you don't think as an audience that it's going to actually come to fruition that this story is completely true. Um, but
Hmm.
then that it actually does become true and that the kids are like these ghost zombies things, and that it completely ties the story together at the end with the old guy who is like the
Yep.
ultimate disrespect to not just the holiday but to human life in general, and that he's taken
Hmm.
by these people that Sam seemingly brings back or brings to him. um I love that. Like, I think that that culmination and that story tying it together is just so awesome, because like all the other things that have happened that have, I mean, other than the psycho guy who needed to get it at the end,
Yeah.
like the other things that have disrespected the quote unquote holiday of like candy and smashing pumpkins, and those are all little things that have disrespected the holiday, where or taking decorations down too early, those are just like little things, but then it culminates to this grand, oh my gosh, like how could you be that evil? Um,
I know. When she explains the story, the group of kids she was explaining,
yeah,
like, oh, the parents grew very tired and exhausted from
yeah,
taking care of them. I'm like, that
yeah.
is fucked
N
up.
Right, and
Like,
it's not just him, it's the parents in general. It's like this, like, opposite Freddy Krueger. Like, like,
yeah,
the parents come together to fight off the evil. These are the parents are the evil, and it's like, "What? Like, what?" Yeah,
very
it's
very dark.
very dark, but it's so effective, and that's why I just really enjoy that story. It's so effective. Um, yeah. Oof. Yeah, it's crazy.
Um, and what else? Oh, so you were talking about, like, this is like a Gaelic festival, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Samhain, you
yeah,
know.
Samhain has its roots in Gaelic. Yeah,
So
Ireland.
and I think the place that the stories take place in, Warren, Ohio, they said it was an early settlement of the Americas, one of the
Oh, really?
earlier
I don't
settlements.
think I caught that.
So like that
So, like, an
it's like, well,
Irish
when I
Celtic, but they mentioned that?
were no, well, I looked up because I knew where it was taking place, but I didn't know if there's any significance.
Oh,
So I looked
okay.
it up, but I mean, like, it's an earlier time to when, like, that sort of stuff
Yeah, mhm.
would have been,
So, like, almost
or
has its ties in the
like
Celtic cultures
harvest,
bringing over.
harvest and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it almost has its ties in, like, the Celtic culture bringing over the ideas of Halloween. Because yeah, it started off
yeah.
as more
Which
of
I
a
could
pagan.
something I could see. I don't know if
Yeah, no,
it's
that's
a
kinda
hundred
cool.
percent, but
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's cool. A cool connection. Um, the other thing I noticed too, I noticed a couple of times ago that I watched it, not just this time, but with the old guy, that before you even get to him or get to the idea that he was the bus driver, that he comes out of the lake breathing the way that the old guy breathes.
Yeah.
Like, that's a cool
Yep.
little, like, nod to it. Like,
That's a good. I like that note, just in case like you weren't sure.
right, right. You could have connected it earlier if you were really paying attention because it was like the same exact sound.
hmm
Yeah, I love those little. Yeah, yeah. I love those little details. I'm I mean, that scene where he, like, where you finally
It's
see Sam and this little pumpkin creature. It's so good, so much fun. Oh, when he gets him with the little
yeah.
razor. Oh, gets him on his. Doesn't he get him on his ankles?
Oh
Right,
God.
his Achilles heel. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oof.
And then he grabs the candy because it's almost like he was like he had the candy with him and he was offering it to him.
Yeah,
So Sam took the candy and then walked away, and then
yeah,
he we starts what do I want to say? The bus driver starts doing, celebrating the holiday. There we go,
yeah.
and thinks he's okay. But
Right.
then the next trick or treaters after the three little pigs, which I thought were pretty cool because when the girls are in the dressing room getting their costumes on, she goes, "I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house
Oh
down."
yeah, that's right.
So the three little pigs at the end, but then after them is the group of kids that he drove off the cliff, and
Yeah.
he gets it.
Yeah, and the other thing about the scene where he fights or Sam fights him and stuff, um, s- it's one of like so in other horror films you have these entities or these creatures where you don't see them, like you don't see their physical features, and then they show their physical features and you're like, well, that just ruined, like, the ominous feeling of this
Yeah,
character. Whereas with Sam, like Sam, I love. I love his features of where he just has this potato sack on his head and the button eyes and stuff. Like, it's such a cool character design. But
Hmm.
even when he's shown and he's like this living like jack-o'-lantern, you're still like, holy shit, that's cool. Like
Yeah.
this is such a cool character. It doesn't really ruin the magic of Sam as this weird looking child creature.
Right.
It's still like, it's still cool to see, and like him eating the chocolate bar and stuff, like it's still like a great scene, and him climbing on the wall, and it's so much fun.
um, I did like when the Rhonda, the witch, dressed up as a witch, the one they were teasing or whatever,
Oh
when she
yeah.
comes back
Mhm.
up and she
Mhm.
sees Sam and they just kind of look at each other and just like almost like
Yes.
a head nod, and they
Yes.
like pass each other.
I
That's
do
so
be
cool.
I
It's like because
do
she knows, she's like, okay,
I do love
thank
that,
you.
and I do love that, and it shows like Sam like knows that she understands the spirit of Halloween, that
Hmm.
none of these people in this town understand it, but she clearly understands it. She clearly respects it, and like she's the one that's kind of given the pass in the entire town. Yeah, I love that. Um, have you seen the shorts, that the Sam shorts? There's also shorts with him. There's like
What?
one,
No,
yeah,
I have
yeah. Look
not.
it up. I forget what they're called, but there's like one or two, maybe more, of different shorts of Sam, and they're fun to watch. Yeah, you'll have to check them out. I'll send them to you later. Maybe I'll share them on socials too.
Sweet.
Um, yeah, there's that, and then yeah, and then there's apparently a sequel coming. Finally, they've been talking about a sequel for years and years and years, and I guess now it's in active development. And from what I hear, is Sam's gonna have some type of nemesis that he'll be able to fight with.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we'll see what that's all about. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to see a sequel to this. Hopefully, it's, it lives up to the greatness of the original. Um, just such a fun film. I just love this movie so much. I don't really have too much bad to say about it. I know it's a biased opinion, but I,
Yeah.
I just I don't really
It's
have
it's
too.
just one of those ones where like I know for myself it was, oh, I'll watch this. This looks like it'll be a little fun time. But like
Yeah,
it's the gem in the pile of like
it really
trash,
it
you
really
know?
is. It really is. It's just fun, and it's just fun to be able to. It's just a true Halloween movie, because the other movies, like Jason's great, Freddy is great, Michael's great. Like, watching the original horror monsters like Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, like the Werewolf, Dawn of the Dead. Like, those are all fantastic films, and all
Hmm.
fantastic films to get into the spirit of Halloween. Um, but when it comes to like true movies about Halloween, there aren't too many out there that are like, oh yeah, this is this is a Halloween movie. This is about Halloween. Like, and that's what I just love watching that, because like there's so many Christmas movies to watch. There are so many, well, there are so many Christmas movies to watch that, that's the next big holiday. And you can find ones that are, directly about Christmas, directly about that day. And that's what I love about Trick or Treat, is that it's directly about that, and directly about what makes everything great and fun about Halloween, and captures that feeling of just that trick or treat, even as a
Yeah.
kid feeling, and like those spooky stories that you tell, that those type of feelings, and it just captures all of that essence. And that's what I love about this film. Like I said, I can't really say too much wrong about
Bad.
this movie.
Yeah.
I know there are some people that don't understand the movie, and don't get it, don't get the hype. That's fine. But that's not
Right.
me. I'm one that
Nope.
will praise this movie all day long.
I will dive right in.
Yep. Yep.
This is definitely number one. I have to watch this every year on
Mhm.
how, at least on like, during Halloween time.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. I 100% agree.
I suggest it to all y'all too.
Agreed. Yep, agreed. But anyway, that is all I've got to say about Trick or Treat. So happy Halloween, everyone. Be safe out there, have fun out there. Enjoy this spooky season, this end of the spooky season. But remember, here at Horror Time, it is always spooky season. So you can catch this episode, obviously, and our other 5 episodes that we have of season 3 already. And then our next episode will be about a haunted cemetery. And it is a pretty dark and crazy history to it as well. So we'll be excited to share that one with you after the spooky season. So to keep that alive. So yeah, guys. So yeah, again, have a good Halloween, and if you want more spooky content, follow us on our socials, especially on Facebook, and we will keep all that spooky content coming.
Remember, avoid those spooky parties in the woods.
Yes, respect Halloween. Charlie Brown's an asshole.
Yes, yes, yes.